Yeah, well, Daryl, you can see the mess here behind me. This is Neron Place right off of South Carrollton, and council members stressed today that they're really tired of getting constant complaints from residents about construction projects like this one.
Yes, and Travers, as you know, more than 150 people had to evacuate yesterday. We met some of them today right as they got to come back home. We are seeing some pretty extensive, severe damage, and I want to show you and tell you first exactly where I am right now. I am at the Big Boss gas station just off Center Street. This is really a fixture in this area of town. This is where I'm told that people come here to get their food, to get their groceries.
Well, that's right. Those recovery efforts here in Kelowna included people from this community, outside this community. Even the St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office got in it, getting up at 3 a.m. to cook meals for some of these people affected to make sure that they had something to eat. But I'll go ahead and tell you now, the scenes at the Kelowna Volunteer Fire Department earlier today, well, those speak for themselves.
To Louisiana and the recovery efforts after those tornadoes. Eli Brand from our New Orleans affiliate WDSU joins us now. Eli, the destruction, it comes just before Christmas. I wonder how the local residents are coping with what they've lost.
That's right. Well, always a devastating thing to happen, but especially with this timing. But the way they're coping is by coming together. And if you walk with me, I'll show you exactly how they're doing that. We're at the Kelowna Volunteer Fire Department, where there's kind of a makeshift gathering here so people can get things that they need that had damage from those tornadoes. Look at all of this food right here. This was cooked by the St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office. They made all of this, have been cooking it since 3 a.m. this morning. So people that are in need can come here and get this and walk inside here with me now so you can see even more. We spoke with a volunteer earlier. This stuff that's being donated here, she said they've had as many people donating as are in need. You can see here, there's toys here inside. There's toiletries inside. There's any snacks that they need. They have perishable foods. They have paper towels. They have deodorant, toothbrushes, toothpaste, anything that you need. So that's the way that they're coping with this damage, is by coming together and rallying around one another so that they can make sure that they are all okay. Aaron, Kate.
Really glad to see that. Eli Brand, thank you for being there for us. Appreciate it.
There's good news tonight about the power of friendship and how love and dancing help heal the pain. For the famous Milwaukee dancing grannies, this week's visit to New Orleans was the trip of a lifetime.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Milwaukee dancing grannies!
A chance to perform in one of the city's Mardi Gras parades.
Oh, they were amazing.
But for Jan Kwiatkowski and the rest of the group, it was about so much more. Jan, what was it like to be in New Orleans for Mardi Gras?
It was the probably absolute most amazing, profound, exciting, life-giving thing that not only myself, but all of us have done.
She says the celebration was also a time of healing. That's because in November 2021, 3 of their members and a dancer's husband were killed, along with 2 other people, during the Waukesha Christmas parade, when a man driving an SUV intentionally plowed through the crowds. In that senseless, horrible tragedy, it's how do you all, as a group, go forward?
The reality is you don't heal unless you're healing in community.
Community they found in the New Orleans dance group called the 610 Stompers. They call themselves extraordinary men with extraordinary moves. And they invited the grannies to Mardi Gras as a sign of solidarity.
I cannot begin to tell you how much that means to all of us.
You know, why can't we just come together and try to heal? And
Stompers Chris Seckinger and Brett Patron just knew their city would welcome them with open arms.
I'm going to tell you that right now. They are hard to handle.
But they were so much fun.
The
2 dance groups, now forever friends, with joyful memories they'll never forget.
It was just such a tangible way of saying, you're not alone. That meant a lot. I can't even put into words. I'm going to cry now how much that meant.
Milwaukee dancing grannies just made their big debut in the Big Easy. The The Milwaukee dance group, as you see, they're decked out in Mardi Gras colors as they took part in the crew of the Toeth Parade in New Orleans Sunday afternoon. This is all part of annual celebrations. The popular 610 Stompers invited the grannies after hearing about the Waukesha Christmas Parade tragedy in 2021.
It's unbelievable how awesome today is. I'm running out of words for how awesome today is.
It's very special to be with the grannies today. I mean, this day has been built up for how long? And it's finally here. We got beautiful weather. You know, we got beautiful costumes. We got beautiful new family. So this is a fantastic day.
1, 2, 3.
What a great day. By the way, the parade wasn't their only appearance. They had a very busy schedule. Earlier in that day, the grannies and the Stompers both performed at a children's hospital in New Orleans.
The crowds and the costumes.
Theme was sequiny, shiny, metallic.
Families putting on their boldest and brightest because horse racing is back for the season at the New Orleans Fairgrounds.
The fact that we can dress like this and no one has looked at us twice. This is a totally normal thing. We are with our people for sure.
It is a Thanksgiving tradition for so many. Some driving just down the street and others coming from states away. Do you guys just come into town for this?
Yeah, this is probably our 7th year doing it. Yep, so this is a family tradition we've done for 7 years, and when relatives can come, we all get together. If not, it's just this little core group, but we love it. It's our favorite holiday tradition.
New Orleans is it's New Orleans. It's a very special place, and this is a very special thing for all the people that are from here.
And it is just as special for the fairgrounds president, welcoming these racegoers with all the amenities fully open.
We're so excited to welcome our fans back for the first time, for the first full race season in the past 2.5 years, thanks to COVID.
And whether you've got the best seat or the best bet,
I'm going to put down a couple bets, $2 bets, and we'll see. Will I walk out a millionaire or a bum?
Those here say it is the best way to celebrate together.
Which is the most likely?
Just a great atmosphere. It's a great way to spend Thanksgiving and be thankful for what we have.
This is the sound of sacrifice each and every Lent.
Yeah, and sometimes we do this to about 15 to 16 sacks a day.
Crawfish is always popular in New Orleans, but Chris Davis, who owns Nola Crawfish King in Gentilly, says that's especially true on and after Ash Wednesday.
The off season is pretty good around here because we sell barbecue, but crawfish season is where it's at, yeah, for sure.
Right now, he's selling boiled crawfish for $5.49 a pound. Live will cost you $3.25.
We got 100 items on the menu to feed the world, so all the tourists and the locals can go ahead and enjoy Pee Wee's Crab Cakes.
A short drive away, Pee Wee's Crab Cakes offers almost any seafood dish you can dream up. For owner Charles Armstrong, every item is a labor of love. And during Lent, the increased sales help him and his employees survive.
We have 42 families that go ahead and work for me. So right now, that's my job, to give myself an opportunity, to go ahead and care to them so we go and feed our kids.
Then there's the Knights of Columbus in Kenner, who host weekly Friday fish fries. They serve up plate after plate for purchase to fund their philanthropic efforts all year long.
So it's going to take a little time for the food to be ready, but it isn't going to be under some lamp or anything like that. It's going to be fresh from the grease, strain it, drain it, and then to your plate.
This is one of my oldest photographs right here. A few years ago, I was out here with my grandkids. Something told me just walk them over here by the museum. And when I walked them over here and stuff, I started taking some pictures on them outside. And something told me, I said, you know what? One day I'm going to walk y'all up these steps, and I'm having an exhibit up there.
Polo Silk's photographs have become an illustrative archive of fashion, hip-hop, and black culture in New Orleans. Now his exhibition, Picture Man, Portraits by Polo Silk, is being featured at the New Orleans Museum of Art.
And about 2 months later, I got a call from Brian.
I think that the authenticity that comes through in his work comes from the relationships that he had for so long with the people that he photographed.
Silk mobilized the traditional portrait studio, taking it to the streets and clubs of New Orleans. He transformed picture making, creating a style of his own.
I get asked that a lot. I don't have a style, but the style is just adapting to the culture. So I've been able to adapt to the culture. A couple of my friends told me they've never been in this building, and I'm the reason they came in this building. It just give me chills and stuff every time I think about it. And if you look at a close angle, you could see my pictures on the wall, and I could look in the other rooms, and I could see some of these priceless artifacts, and that means a lot to me. We come in this building, I make sure we touch these flowers that's embedded on the wall before we walk up our step, because I know our people probably built this building and probably wasn't allowed to come in this building, so it's a real moment for me, and it's like us connecting with the people that came before us.
On stage, this is where ballerinas feel at home and at peace, something the New Orleans Ballet Association is more than willing to help give to this group of professional Ukrainian dancers.
It was February 23rd when they left Kyiv to travel to France for a tour, for a 3-week tour, and the next day their country was invaded. So since that time, they've been based in France and touring in Europe, and had this opportunity to come to the States for the very first time in the company's history. So we want to be part of that in helping this company.
The Kyiv City Ballet, from Ukraine's capital, is in New Orleans this weekend as an ongoing war plays out in their home country. One of the performances on Saturday night pays tribute to it.
It is a tribute to peace by this company. They just want to live like the rest of us in peace and in solitude. And so it is a tribute to, and it's also a tribute to the United States and what we're all doing to be able to help the company.
And Nova is giving them this stage to showcase their meaningful art.
It means the world to all of us and to this community to be able to give back and to be able to help someone who needs us right now. They're dancers. They just want to dance. They want to do their jobs, and we are providing a stage for them to dance.
WDSU for the fantastic weather. Just following along with Margaret Orr here. There you go.
Hey, this is going to be a great time. And of course, Randy Russo is here. We got to make some noise for her, of course.
It's all about the animals, and it's what's fun about it. And then when they come through, it's really nice because everybody's so friendly and everybody wants to see the pups. And it makes for a great family outing. Mocha's 12, and she's just out enjoying some sun, and Chi-Chi is 12, and she just laid out in the shade now. So it's been sunny all morning. We've been out here. We get out here early. We got here about 11:30, and it's a long day, but it's fun. It's worth every minute.
Nala, your hair color's good.
Thank you. So we actually know Candy, who owns the business behind us, and we're just longtime supporters of the Covington Business Association in downtown Covington, and we just love mingling with the people and seeing all the pups.
Well, it's been really great because it's been in Covington now for a couple of years, so do you think it does help the businesses?
I really do, because then they also have the little after party at the trailhead, and that helps the businesses get a lot more exposure too, so it's awesome.
Well, I just love every community coming together and supporting each other and our small businesses here in downtown Covington, and of course the animals. It's all about the animals.
What do you think about the theme this year?
I think it's cool. When I was coming in, I saw like some really cool costumes and makeup and wigs. So yeah, it's exciting.
Got the bling! Y'all need some bling!
Congratulations to you all, and we love you from the bottom of our hearts, and that is from the city of New Orleans.
I think the thing I'm most proud of after 7 seasons shooting here in New Orleans is our crew. These are crew members who live all over the city, in the surrounding areas of New Orleans proper, and they've been incredible.
The impact, you cannot deny it, from, of course, how it just touches and grows careers for the people who live in the city of New Orleans. The intentionality about hiring locals is something that the city embraces, but did not have to push for. It showed up with that in mind. So as I'm here on the set with the last day commencing in our city, it is a celebratory moment, but it's also what we've been able to do in our city, but also excited about what is to come.
Thank you.
it's been a gift. A lot of people don't understand that as an actor, it's rare to get a show that goes on and on and on and on. It's a blessing, right? And I think to be here with all of these people that we have, our cast, our crew, I love it. It's just like my home now, you know, like I actually got to pack up and move.
Miss Ava Choose the city of New Orleans, you know, a black woman, world renowned, in a predominantly, of course, you know, black city and the black history.
Hiring 42 women directors and
focusing on black families, being owned by a black woman. I'm the first woman mayor of the city of New Orleans in its 300-year history, and I am a black woman. So with this, it gives me, I would say, the inspiration and the hope to continue to stand, to continue to lead, but understanding that in it, you're bringing people along. And that's what Queen Sugar has done to our city and to our people collectively.
I, Mayor Latoya Cantrell, Mayor of the City of New Orleans, do declare July 20th, 2022 as Queen Sugar Day.
This is taxpayer dollar. This is money, actual action happening. I get asked all the time, we've seen these bills passed and they come into law. When are we going to start seeing action? Well, what you see is action, and you see these resources flowing into Louisiana and creating the kind of opportunities both for resiliency, for rebuilding, for restructuring, but also creating jobs and strengthening the economy as well.
This is exactly the kind of project that the PROTECT program that we just announced, which is a $7.5 billion resiliency program, of which Louisiana will get in formula funds $134 million and potentially more in competitive dollars. And it's exactly these types of projects. And I can't think of a region of the country where probably resiliency is more urgent.
Without that infrastructure bill that passed, that the Congressman supported, we would not be in a position to build the volume of roads and elevate the roads and have the impact we're having, not just on roads, but all modes of transportation stand to benefit. Louisiana is right for all of their investments.
In the absence of having these resources, we would continue to see the kind of catastrophes, the kind of disasters that we've unfortunately had to endure. Because of these resources, because of the attention of the Department of Transportation, having both the Secretary and now the Deputy Secretary here with our DOTD Secretary all working closely together, we're seeing progress.
We see resilience as not just responding to hurricanes, but being better and building back better, but building back smarter as well. So whether it's a large rain or a hurricane or a flood issue, those dollars will come in tremendously handy, as well as pumping capacity. That's something that's essential for life here in Louisiana to protect citizens, not just in their daily lives, but in their evacuation purposes as well.
Climate change, resiliency, those are going to be some of the hot topics, and it's not a coincidence we're talking about them here in Louisiana. I think, as you heard from the Congressman and the Secretary, this is an area, look, partially through tragedy, you have become a leader, both nationally and globally, and I know there's a lot we can learn from what's happening here, and obviously really glad to be providing resources to continue the great work down here.